Myanmar, a country that's been the centre of a years-long conflict with a population of 50 million, it is also home to the ethnic minority Rohingya Muslims, who, in 2017, were dubbed the world's most persecuted minority by the UN following a brutal crackdown by the military junta. Fast forward to 2024, when intense renewed fighting between the military and armed opposition groups has devastated Myanmar, and the Rohingya are trapped in between.
More than 2.9 million have been newly displaced, including 66,000 people who have sought protection in neighboring countries, adding to the more than 1 million Rohingya refugees who fled before the coup.
So, what is happening in Myanmar? In 2021, military leader Min Aung Hlaing carried out a coup against the elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi, whose National League of Democracy party was about to begin a second term in office after winning the 2020 elections. The military said it took over because of widespread voter fraud in the polls. The coup, however, pulled the country into chaos. Lawmakers elected in 2020 set up the National Unity Government of Myanmar, essentially a government in exile. It greenlit a people's defensive war against the military junta, calling on citizens to revolt against the rule of the military terrorists in every corner of the country. A myriad of ethnic armed groups heeded its call, and the Free Brotherhood Alliance came into being. The group comprises the Arakan Army, the Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army, and the Tang National Liberation Army, who, after launching a joint offensive, Operation 1027, have been making significant gains, wresting more and more territory from the junta. Now, Rakhine State, where the country's remaining 600,000 Rohingya live, has become one of the fighting hotspots, and conflict in that region flared after a ceasefire between the Arakan Army and the junta broke down late last year. Rights groups have accused both the junta and the Arakan Army of abducting and forcibly recruiting over 1,000 Rohingya men and boys from villages in Rakhine. In May, the UN warned that the military junta were using Rohingya as human shields on battlefields. Amid escalating fighting in conflict-torn Rakhine, thousands of Rohingya were forced to flee to neighbouring Bangladesh.
Some of the most serious allegations concern incidents of killing of Rohingya civilians and the burning of their property. An estimated 45,000 Rohingya have reportedly fled to an area on the Naf River near the border with Bangladesh, seeking protection.
Though the Arakan Army says it is fighting for more autonomy for the ethnic Rakhine population, reports of widespread abuse of Rohingya by the Arakan Army have also come to the fore.
What is particularly disturbing is that whereas in 2017 the Rohingya were targeted by one group, they are now trapped between two armed factions who have a track record of killing them. We must not allow the Rohingya to be targeted again.
During an offensive in May, the Rohingya accused the Arakan Army of encircling their villages, preventing anyone from leaving and setting houses on fire. However, the group has denied the charges and blamed Myanmar's army for the arson. Several UN member states, including Turkey, released a joint statement on July 15 expressing concern over the situation in Myanmar. Since the military coup in 2021, the number of people in humanitarian need has risen from 1 million to 18.6 million. The Rohingya Muslims have faced persecution for decades in Buddhist-majority Myanmar, dating back to 1948, when Myanmar gained independence from the British. The Myanmar government refuses to give them citizenship, making them stateless by UN classifications. Experts say that the current crisis carries echoes of the lead-up to genocidal violence in 2016 and 2017. Chilling reports have surfaced of killings and rapes that occurred during that time, with 700,000 Rohingya fleeing the violence and seeking refuge in neighbouring Bangladesh. As a result of these reports, Myanmar has been facing an ongoing genocide trial at the International Court of Justice, lodged by the Gambia in 2019. Amid a fresh wave of violence, what does the post-coup future look like for the Rohingya?